The air hung heavy, thick with despair.
My heart, it pounded against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat of fear and regret.
Across the room, a stranger, face shrouded in shadow, held her daughter's hand. Little Esperanza, her eyes wide and trusting, didn't understand.
I had sold my daughter, my own flesh and blood, for a fistful of dollars.
The enormity of her betrayal crushed her. Days bled into nights, each one a torturous reminder of Maria's sin.
The money, once a symbol of hope, now felt like a brand, searing my conscience. I saw Esperanza's face everywhere. In the faces of children playing in the street, in my dreams, in the patterns of the peeling paint on my walls.
Guilt gnawed at her insides, hollowing her out until all that remained was a shell of the woman she once was.
The weight of my silence was suffocating, threatening to consume me entirely.
Whispers started slowly like tendrils of smoke winding their way through the barrio.
People pointed at her, their faces a mixture of pity and disgust.
Her neighbors, once friendly and welcoming, now averted their gaze. The weight of their judgment was a tangible thing, pressing down on her, suffocating her.
The whispers followed me everywhere, a constant reminder of my transgression. I was a pariah, ostracized from the community that was once my lifeline.
2 months after that fateful night, a knock came at Maria's door. Her blood ran cold.
I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to the bone, that my past had caught up with me.
2 officers stood on her doorstep, their faces grim, their eyes hard.
We've come for you, Maria. It's time to face justice for the innocent life you bartered away.
There would be no outrunning this, no escaping the consequences of her actions. The courtroom was cold and unforgiving, much like the gaze of the judge who looked down at Maria.
Her heart hammered in her chest, a frantic rhythm against her ribs.
She felt the weight of the courtroom, the eyes of the jury, the palpable tension in the air. The charges were read, each one a nail hammered into the coffin of her freedom: kidnapping, child endangerment, human trafficking. The words echoed in the silence of the courtroom, a damning indictment of her actions. The trial was a blur of agonizing details, each one a fresh wound on Maria's already battered soul. Witnesses testified against her, their words like stones hurled at her, each one chipping away at her defenses. Her lawyer, a young man with tired eyes, did his best, but even he couldn't erase the truth.
Maria had sold her daughter. She had betrayed the most sacred bond, and for that there was no excuse.
The guilty verdict came as no surprise. Maria felt a strange sense of relief wash over her, the relief of the inevitable. The judge, his face a mask of disappointment, handed down the sentence. Years stretched before her, a bleak and unforgiving landscape. She was going to prison, condemned to pay for her sins behind bars.
The walls of the courtroom seemed to close in, suffocating her with the weight of her punishment.
News of Esperanza's rescue spread through the barrio like wildfire. Relief warred with anger, joy mingled with sorrow. The streets buzzed with conversations, each corner of the neighborhood echoing with the tale of her ordeal and miraculous return. People who had never met Esperanza felt a deep connection to her story, as if she were a part of their own family. The sense of community was palpable, and the air was thick with a mix of emotions. Parents held their children a little tighter, grateful for their safety, while also feeling the weight of the collective trauma. The barrio, once a place of simple joys and daily routines, had been shaken to its core, but it was also a place of resilience and hope. The community rallied around the little girl, showering her with love and support. They vowed to never let anything like this happen again. Neighbors brought food, toys, and clothes, anything to make Esperanza feel safe and cherished. Local businesses offered their services for free, and a fund was set up to help her family with any expenses. The local cricket team dedicated their next match to her, playing with a renewed sense of purpose and unity. The stands were filled with supporters holding banners and chanting her name, a testament to the strength and solidarity of the community. It was a powerful reminder that in times of crisis, people could come together to create a shield of love and protection around the most vulnerable.
The man who had bought Esperanza, a predator hiding behind a veneer of normalcy, was apprehended. He would face the full force of the law, his crimes exposed to the light of day. The arrest was swift and decisive, a clear message that such heinous acts would not be tolerated. The community watched as justice began to unfold, their collective anger channeled into a demand for accountability. The police, who had worked tirelessly to bring Esperanza home, were hailed as heroes. The legal process would be long and arduous, but there was a sense of satisfaction in knowing that the man who had caused so much pain would be held responsible for his actions. The community's faith in justice was restored, and they were determined to see it through to the end.
They promised to keep me safe, to never let anything like this happen again. The words were more than just a promise. They were a vow, a commitment to vigilance and care. The community had learned a hard lesson, but they were stronger for it. They implemented new safety measures, organized neighborhood watch groups, and held regular meetings to discuss any concerns. The local cricket club became a hub of activity, not just for sports, but for community bonding and mutual support. Coaches and mentors took on the role of protectors, ensuring that every child felt safe and valued. The spirit of unity and determination was evident in every game, every practice session, and every gathering. Esperanza's story had become a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope that illuminated the path to a safer, more connected community.
Years turned into a decade. The passage of time was relentless, each tick of the clock a reminder of the moments lost forever. The cricket field, once a place of joy and camaraderie, now stood as a silent witness to the passage of time. The scoreboard, with its ever-changing numbers, seemed to mock the permanence of her choices. Maria, her face etched with remorse and regret, spent her days haunted by the choices she had made. Every crease on her face told a story of a decision that could never be undone. She would often sit alone on the bench, staring at the scattered cricket gear, each piece a fragment of her shattered past. The once vibrant colors of her uniform had faded, much like the dreams she once held dear. The prison walls held her captive, but it was the prison of her own making that truly confined her. The empty stadium echoed with the ghosts of games long past, each cheer and shout now a distant memory. From the pavilion she would look out, her eyes searching for a glimpse of the life she once knew. The tightly packed cricket bags in the dark room were a stark reminder of the opportunities lost, the friendships broken, and the love that had slipped through her fingers. She had paid a heavy price for her betrayal, a price measured in lost time, shattered trust, and the unbearable ache of a love irrevocably broken. Each defeat on the field mirrored the defeat in her heart. Walking off the field with her head down, she felt the weight of her actions pressing down on her shoulders. The broken cricket equipment in the locker room was a metaphor for her own broken spirit, each piece a testament to the consequences of her betrayal.
I have paid a heavy price for my betrayal, a price measured in lost time, shattered trust, and the unbearable ache of a love irrevocably broken. The cricket ball on the pitch, once a symbol of hope and competition, now lay abandoned, much like my dreams. The broken cricket bat was a reflection of my own fractured soul, each splinter a reminder of the pain I had caused. The abandoned cricket field, overgrown with weeds, was a stark contrast to the vibrant life I once led. It was a place where memories lingered, but the future seemed uncertain. The echoes of laughter and cheers had faded, replaced by the silence of regret. The price of betrayal was not just the loss of a game, but the loss of a part of myself that I could never reclaim.
Upon her release, Maria returned to a world that had moved on without her. The barrio had changed, the faces unfamiliar. Her family, once her refuge, could not forgive her. She was a ghost, a shadow of the woman she once was. The years had stripped away her spirit, leaving behind a hollow shell, consumed by remorse and regret.
I am a ghost, a shadow of the woman I once was. The years have stripped away my spirit, leaving behind a hollow shell, consumed by remorse and regret.
Maria's story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of desperation and greed. In the world of cricket, where every run counts and every match can change the course of a player's career, the stakes are incredibly high. Maria, once a promising player with dreams of making it big, found herself ensnared in a web of deceit and ambition. Her journey from the heights of potential to the depths of despair is a poignant lesson for all who dare to dream. It underscores the sanctity of the bond between a mother and child, a bond that should never be broken. Maria's relationship with her son was her anchor, her source of strength amidst the chaos of her career. The cricket field, once a place of joy and triumph, became a battleground where she fought not just for victory, but for the future of her family. The sight of a mother cheering on her child from the sidelines is a powerful image, a reminder of the sacrifices and unwavering support that define this sacred bond. Her downfall is a cautionary tale, a testament to the enduring power of justice and the indelible stain of betrayal. In the end, Maria's actions caught up with her. The slow-motion replay of her being out, the regret etched on her face, and the somber atmosphere of the stadium after a loss all serve as stark reminders of the price of betrayal. Justice, though sometimes delayed, is inevitable. Maria's story is a powerful reminder that the choices we make, driven by desperation or greed, can have far-reaching and devastating consequences.
My story is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of desperation and greed. I was once a rising star, with dreams of glory and a future filled with promise. But the pressures of the game, the relentless pursuit of success, and the fear of failure led me down a dark path. The broken cricket bat lying on the ground is a symbol of my shattered dreams, a reminder of the price I paid for my choices. It underscores the sanctity of the bond between a mother and child, a bond that should never be broken. My son was my world, my reason for fighting every battle on the field. The moments we shared, playing cricket together, passing the ball between us, are memories I hold dear. The cricket gloves on the bench, next to his toy, are a poignant reminder of the life I once had, and the bond that remains unbroken despite everything. My downfall is a cautionary tale, a testament to the enduring power of justice and the indelible stain of betrayal. The low score on the scoreboard, the dejected look on the player's face, and the stormy sky in the background, all mirror the turmoil within me. My story is a warning to others, a reminder that no matter how high the stakes, integrity and honesty must never be compromised. The stain of betrayal is indelible, and the power of justice, though sometimes slow, is always present. Let my story be a lesson to all who walk the path of ambition and dreams.